Oh, yeah. Saturday night smelled expensive, even when nobody had money. Cadillac smoke rings drifting slow through Jackson streets, chrome reflections sliding softly across puddles after rain. Woman named Vanessa leaning outside a soul club doorway, cherry lipstick glowing bright beneath buzzing neon signs. Meanwhile, old men play dominoes loudly beside a whiskey-stained bar rails. And somebody fed quarters slowly into a jukebox full of heartbreak songs. Man, certain nights feel like old vinyl records, warm, scratched, and impossible to quit replaying. Cadillac smoke rings floating through the midnight haze, velvet boots, tailored suits, and tied hearts in flames. So some souls dancing, some souls scarred, but everybody downtown still swinging through the dark. Vanessa talked about Detroit like a dream wrapped in cigarette smoke. Said she once chased soul music through every club from Memphis to St. Louis. Never found fame, still carried rhythm in her walk. Outside, summer heat rose from pavement, and taxi lights rolled through downtown like tiny stars, trying hard to survive till morning. Lord, that whole block smelled like bourbon and wet cologne. Vanessa leaned against the Cadillac, watching smoke curl through neon, then softly laughed. Funny how lonely people always dress the sharpest. Yeah, probably armor, Cadillac smoke rings, still glowing through the blue. Barroom saints, old complaints, and radios humming low. Nobody wealthy, nobody clean, but every restless soul out there still carry little dreams. Maybe style ain't vanity. Maybe it's surviving heartbreak without letting the world see the damage. Cadillac smoke rings, still burning near sunrise. Streetlight haze, old slow days, and tired, hopeful eyes. Nobody polished, nobody young, but Lord, that smoky southern city still sang beautiful songs. Vanessa disappeared before daylight. The Cadillac rolled west to downtown, and rain shimmered softly across Jackson Street.
Every laundromat after midnight feel like somebody's unfinished story. After the laundromat, rain rolling down Memphis streets, neon open sign flickering above spinning washing drums. A woman named Teresa folded denim near the dryers, gold hoops glowing softly under tired fluorescent light. Meanwhile, a cab driver drank burnt coffee beside the vending machines, and Al Green floated quietly through a tiny cracked speaker. Man, certain songs sound holier near wet city windows. After the laundromat, floating through the midnight blue, rain-soaked shoes, old heartbreak news, and soul records humming through. Some hearts drifting, some hearts scarred, but everybody in that room still carrying light through dark. Teresa talked about Houston like a city she escaped barely. Said she once danced weekends at a downtown soul club till rent rose higher than dreams outside. Headlights shimmer through puddles and buses sighed along Beale Street like giant tired animals searching for somewhere warm. Lord, that whole laundromat smelled like soap powder and cigarette smoke. Teresa closed the dryer softly, watching clothes spin behind glass, and whispered, "Funny how people keep washing things that still don't come clean." Yeah, that line stayed heavy after the laundromat, still humming through the rain. Coffee steam, half-lost dreams, and hearts bruised dreams. Maybe healing ain't dramatic. Maybe it's warm clothes, slow songs, and surviving another lonely evening that count to songs. Teresa left before daylight. The dryers finally stopped turning, and Memphis kept glowing through the storm. Harbor lights always look sadder after tourist season ends. Glowing soft near Panama Bay, fishing boats rocking slowly against tired wooden docks. Woman named Elaine worked nights at the bait shop counter, silver hair catching neon from an old beer sign in the window. Meanwhile, shrimp captains played cards quietly beside melting ice coolers, and somebody's radio played Smokey Robinson through static air. Man, coastal towns know how to hold loneliness gently. Broken marina lights shining through the salty breeze, dockside bars, old guitars, and restless memories. Some hearts drifting, some hearts warm, but everybody near that water, still waiting for the dawn. Elaine talked about Key West like a dream folded too long. Said she almost left the coastline once, back before her father got sick. Life changes direction quietly sometimes. Outside, pelicans drifted through moonlight, and diesel boats hummed offshore like tired old blues singers trying not to disappear. Lord, that whole marina smelled like salt water and cigarette smoke. her slowly, looking out toward the dark water, then softly said, "Funny how some people stay, even after every reason to leave. Yeah, that one sat heavy." Broken marina lights still glowing through the blue, rusty rails, windy sails, and radios humming low. Nobody wealthy,
nobody clean,
but every soul along that harbor still carried little dreams. Maybe peace ain't excitement, maybe it's ocean wind, slow music, and somewhere your memories can breathe a while. Broken marina lights,
broken marina lights,
still burning near sunrise,
burning near sunrise,
coastal rain, old heart pain,
coastal rain,
and tired hopeful eyes. Nobody polished,
nobody young,
nobody young, but Lord, that sleepy little harbor still sang beautiful songs. Elaine locked the bait shop softly. The card game ended before daylight, and boats drifted slowly into morning fog. Midnight always looked expensive in old jazz bars, even when nobody inside had money. Gold watch after midnight, ticking slow in downtown Houston. Amber lights hanging softly above velvet booths and whiskey smoke. Woman named Celeste sat alone beside the piano, black gloves folded neatly next to untouched champagne. Meanwhile, old businessmen loosen neckties near cigarette-burned ashtrays, and Teddy Pendergrass drifted softly through speakers wrapped in static. Man, certain rooms made loneliness dress elegant. Gold watch after midnight, floating through the smoky blue. Velvet bars, passing cars, and hearts nobody knew. Some souls hiding, some souls scarred, but everybody in that lounge still carrying light through dark. Celeste talked about Chicago like a city still calling her name. Said she once sang torch ballads inside little jazz clubs near the river. never became famous, still carried rhythm in a silence. Outside, warm rain slid down taxi windows, neon shimmered through puddles like blurry little memories, trying hard not to disappear. Lord, that whole lounge smelled like bourbon and old perfume. Celeste checked her gold watch slowly, listening to rain against the windows, then quietly whispered, "Funny how time moves faster once the good year's gone." Yeah, ain't found a lie in that yet. Go watch after midnight, still humming through the rain. Half-lit rooms, old perfume, and slow romantic pain. Nobody wealthy, nobody clean, but every weary soul in there still carry little dreams. Maybe growing older ain't losing beauty. Maybe it's learning how to wear sadness gracefully. Oh, go watch after midnight, still glowing near sunrise. Street light haze, old slow days, and tired, hopeful eyes. Nobody polished, nobody young. The love that smoky downtown lounge still sing beautiful songs. Celeste disappeared before daylight. The champagne lost its bubbles slowly, and Houston kept glowing through the rain. Truck stops after midnight always feel like forgotten. Waiting rooms for America. Half-empty vending machines buzzing soft outside Little Rock. Rainwater sliding slowly across faded parking lot lines. A woman named Diane counting quarters near the ice machine. Red sweater sleeves hanging loose, and tiredness behind her smile. Meanwhile, truckers watch those sitcom reruns on mounted corner televisions, and somebody played Bill Withers softly through a cracked Bluetooth speaker. Man, loneliness sound different beneath fluorescent lights. Half-empty vending machines glowing through the midnight blue. Coffee steam, half-lost dreams and hearts nobody knew. Some souls hiding, some souls scarred, but everybody near that highway still carrying light through dark. Diane talked about Nashville like a song she stopped singing halfway. Said she once chased backup vocals for a country soul touring band. Never got discovered, still sang beautifully while talking outside. Warm rain rolled beyond truck lanes, and 18-wheelers hummed westbound like giant restless hymns. Crossing lonely southern darkness, Lord, that whole truck stop smelled like wet denim and cigarette ash. Diane pressed B7 slowly, watching chips get stuck behind glass, then softly laughed. Funny how people keep reaching for things that never quite fall down. Yeah, that hit harder than it should've. Half-empty vending machine,
Still humming through the rain.
still humming through the rain.
Parking lot smoke.
Old heartbreak jokes and radios playing low. Nobody wealthy, nobody clean, but every weary soul out there still carried little dreams. Maybe adulthood just mean learning how to survive disappointment gracefully without becoming cold. Half-empty vending machine,
Still glowing near sunrise.
streetlight haze, old slow days, and tired, hopeful eyes. Nobody polished,
No,
nobody young, but Lord, that lonely Arkansas highway still sang beautiful songs. Diane disappeared before daylight. The vending machine kept buzzing softly, and trucks rolled west through the storm. Rain always made old theaters look alive again. Louisiana cinema rain falling soft on Canal Street. Movie posters curling slowly under flickering neon lights. Woman named Claudette sold tickets at the front counter. Cat-eye glasses catching thunder like tiny flashes from another decade. Meanwhile, couples hurry through puddles, holding popcorn and cheap umbrellas. And somebody plays Sam Cooke softly from a diner down the block. Man, old theater's got a way of preserving loneliness beautifully. Louisiana cinema rain, floating through the midnight blue, velvet halls, last call draws, and hearts nobody knew. Some souls dreaming, some souls scarred, but everybody in that city still carrying light through dark. Claudette talked about Houston like a road she almost trusted. Says she once chased acting dreams till rent checks drowned the applause. Never left Louisiana after that, still love the movies anyway. Outside, streetcars hummed through warm rain, and jazz leaped from alley bars like tired old ghosts, still dancing somewhere downtown. Lord, that whole theater smelled like buttered popcorn and cigarette smoke. Claudette watched the empty lobby, listening to thunder outside, then quietly whispered, funny how people go to movies just to feel less alone a while. Yeah, that's probably the whole business. Louisiana cinema rain, still humming through the storm. Streetlight haze, old heartbreak days, and radio staying warm. Nobody wealthy, nobody clean, but everywhere is sold downtown still carried little dreams. Maybe stories save us, maybe they just help us survive. Save us. Another rainy night without giving up completely. Louisiana cinema rain, still glowing near sunrise. Taxi steam, old soul dreams, and hopeful eyes. Nobody polished, nobody young, but Lord, that rainy southern theater still sang beautiful songs. Claudette locked the theater before daylight. The projector finally stopped turning, and New Orleans glowed softly through the rain. Quarter moons always made Memphis looked softer than it really was. Memphis quarter moon, hanging low above Beale Street. Neon reflections trembling across puddles after rain. A woman named Denise leaning outside a soul club doorway. Gold bracelets catching cigarette glow like little flashes from another decade. Meanwhile, tourists drifted half drunk through downtown, while old bluesmen packed their guitars slowly. And somebody played Curtis Mayfield through speakers older than the building itself. Man, certain cities never fully fall asleep. They just hum quieter after midnight. Memphis quarter moon, floating through the smoky blue. Late night bars, passing cars, and hearts split clean in two. Some souls dancing, some souls scarred, but everybody down on Beale still carrying light through dark. Denise talked about St. Louis like a chapter she stopped rereading. Said she once chased radio fame till life got louder than applause. Didn't sound bitter, just older now. Outside, warm wind rolled through alleyways, and river fog drifted downtown slowly, like old soul melodies, too stubborn to disappear. Lord, that whole block smelled like bourbon and wet brick walls. Denise stared toward the river, listening to distant train horns, and quietly said, "You ever notice memories always arrive dressed like music? Yeah, especially in Memphis." Memphis quarter moon, still humming through the rain. Coffee steam, old heartbreak dreams, and radios playing low. Nobody wealthy, nobody wealthy, nobody clean, nobody clean, but every restless soul downtown still carried little dreams. Maybe music ain't escape. Maybe it's proof that lonely people survive long enough to turn pain into something beautiful. Memphis quarter moon, still glowing near sunrise. Streetlight haze, old slow days, and tired, hopeful eyes. Nobody polished, nobody polished, nobody young, but Lord, that restless river city still sang beautiful songs. Denise disappeared before daylight. The soul club finally went quiet, and Memphis kept glowing beneath the quarter moon. Used to be heartbreak, sounded like coins dropping into payphones. Payphones and Marlboros, somewhere outside Amarillo. Rainwater shining softly across old truck stop concrete. A woman named Sandra smoking near the soda machines. Red nails glowing neon beneath flickering Texaco signs. Meanwhile, a country jukebox cried softly inside the diner near the pumps, and truckers sat half awake over cold eggs and burnt coffee. Man, certain highways feel like emotional exile. Payphones and Marlboros floating through the midnight rain. Diesel smoke, cheap motel hope, and hearts bruised by change. Some souls wandering, some souls scarred, but everybody near those highways still carrying light through dark. Sandra talked about Phoenix like a place she almost healed in. Said she once drove west chasing freedom, till freedom started costing gas money. Sounded about right, honestly. Outside, headlights drifted through fog, and thunder rolled across flatlands like giant invisible drums beating slow above Texas. Lord, that whole truck stop smelled like wet denim and cigarette ash. Sandra lit another Marlboro, watching trucks disappear westbound. Then softly laughed. Funny how people leave towns, but never leave themselves. Yeah, that one stayed a while. Payphones and Marlboros still humming through the blue. Rusty chrome halfway homes and radios playing low. Nobody wealthy, nobody clean, but every drifting soul out there still carried little dreams. Maybe loneliness ain't emptiness. Maybe it's just too many memories trying to ride shotgun at once. Payphones and Marlboros still glowing near sunrise. Truck stop haze, old slow days, and tired, hopeful eyes. Nobody polished, nobody young, but Lord, that endless Texas highway still sang beautiful songs. Sandra disappeared before daylight. The payphone kept ringing softly, and rain rolled west across Amarillo. Sunday mornings always feel strange at cheap motels. Too quiet for sinners, too late for saints. Sunday Ash Motel, standing tired outside Jackson. Vacancy sign half working, above puddles filled with neon rain. Woman named Evelyn, drinking cold coffee near the stairwell. House shoes on wet concrete, and mascara from last night fading slow. Meanwhile, the preacher smokes silently beside a broken ice machine, and old gospel music floated softly from somebody's motel television. Man, Sunday got a way of making people remember things. Sunday Ash Motel, floating through the morning gray. Half-slept nights, neon lights, and hearts worn down by change. Some souls praying, some souls scarred, but everybody in that motel still carrying hope through dark. Evelyn talked about Birmingham like a city she forgave eventually. Said she once sang choir harmonies till life pulled harder than heaven did. Didn't sound bitter, just honest. Outside, wet trucks rolled down the highway, and cigarette smoke drifted through cool air. Like old ghosts too tired to haunt anybody anymore. Lord, that whole motel smelled like wet carpet and burnt coffee. Evelyn stared toward the cloudy sky, holding her cigarette carefully, then softly whispered, "Funny how people survive things they thought would kill them. Yeah, human beings stubborn like that." Sunday Ash Motel, still Coming through the blue parking lot rain, old heart pain, and radios playing low. Nobody wealthy, nobody clean, but every weary soul in there still carried little dreams. Maybe redemption ain't dramatic. Maybe it's making coffee, seeing daylight, and deciding to keep going anyway. Sunday Ash Motel, still glowing near sunrise. Streetlight haze, oh, slow days, and tired, hopeful eyes. Nobody polished, nobody young, but Lord, that lonely roadside motel still sang beautiful songs. Evelyn disappeared before noon. The preacher finally crushed his cigarette, and Jackson kept waking slowly beneath gray skies.
Oh yeah. Midnight smelled like bourbon and wet pavement again. Taxi lights and bourbon shining hard through Memphis rain. Yellow cabs rolling slowly past neon soul club doors. Woman named Bianca dancing near the barroom speakers, red lipstick glowing softly like danger dressed expensive. Meanwhile, bartenders wipe down whiskey glasses beside cigarette-stained counters, and somebody played Isaac Hayes long enough to slow the whole room down. Man, certain songs make lonely people fall in love temporarily. Taxi lights and bourbon floating through the smoky blue. Velvet bars, passing cars, and hearts split clean in two. Some souls dancing, some souls dancing, some souls scarred, but everybody downtown still swinging through the dark. Bianca talked about Dallas like a road she nearly disappeared on. Said she once chased fast romance till romance started feeling rented. Didn't sound bitter, just smarter now. Outside, warm rain blurred storefront windows, and saxophones drifted through alleyways like old heartbreak melodies, too stubborn to finally die. Lord, that whole nightclub smelled like wet leather and cigarette ash. Bianca leaned against the jukebox, watching taxi lights drift by, then quietly whispered, funny how nighttime people always recognize each other. Yeah, like survivors at the same shipwreck.
Taxi lights and bourbon, still humming through the rain. Street lights steam, half-lost dreams, and radios playing low. Nobody wealthy, nobody clean, but every restless soul out there still carry little dreams. Maybe nightlife ain't escape. Maybe it's wounded people borrowing music to survive another evening. Taxi lights and bourbon, still glowing near sunrise. Neon haze, old slow days, and tired, hopeful eyes. Nobody polished, nobody young. But Lord, that rainy southern city still sang beautiful songs. Bianca disappeared before daylight. The taxi lights faded down Beale Street, and Memphis kept glowing through the storm. Old records always sound wiser during rainstorms. Old records always sound wiser during rainstorms. Vinyl prayers downtown, spinning slow through Memphis rain. Pawn shop windows glowing softly along exhausted city blocks. A woman named Yolanda owned a tiny record store on Beale, stacking Marvin Gaye albums like sacred books nobody returned. Meanwhile, night buses hiss through puddles, and drunks lean beneath neon signs, while somebody upstairs played Curtis Mayfield through open apartment windows. Man, certain songs feel closer to prayer than church ever did. Vinyl prayers downtown, floating through the midnight blue. Wet brick walls, last car draws, and hearts bruised clean through. Some soul searching, some soul scarred, but everybody in that city still carrying light through dark. Yolanda talked about Detroit like a city stitched into her bloodstream. Said she once toured with a soul review till highways were the dream thing. Never stopped loving music though, could hear it in her breathing. Outside, thunder rolled a disappeared. Lord, that whole record shop smelled like dust and cigarette smoke. You learn to place the vinyl gently, needle crackling through silence, and softly whispered. Funny how broken people always keep the best records. Yeah, probably because they played them hardest. Final prayers downtown, still humming through the rain. Coffee steam, old soul dreams, and radios playing low. Nobody wealthy, nobody clean, but everywhere is sold downtown. Still carried little dreams, maybe healing, sound imperfect. Maybe it crackles softly like old vinyl records, still spinning after midnight. Vinyl players downtown, still glowing near sunrise. Streetlight haze, old slow days, and tired hopeful eyes. Nobody polished, nobody young, but Lord, that rainy southern city still sang beautiful songs. Yolanda locked the shop before daylight. The vinyl kept spinning softly, and Memphis glowed beneath the storm.